Where the fuck is my phone? Oh, there it is.
What did you not understand about recording and YouTube?
Really though.
All right. Well, I'm sitting over here again. I'm Oscar.
I'm Xavier.
I'm Jordan. And
This is no place for conversation.
I'm obnoxious.
So we're back on track this week. We're on episode 6.
Yes.
Episode 6. So we skipped over our freshman year because sorry about it.
Sorry about it. Nobody cares about freshman year.
Yeah.
Freshman year was great.
Freshman year was not great.
Freshman year was okay. I repress everything.
So that
freshman year.
there goes your recap. But moving on, sophomore, junior year of high school is what we're going to be talking about today. So who wants to start?
You're first on the list.
Wow. Okay, well,
That's every time though.
literally mostly
I
because
think
I was the
so.
first person to write something down. Yeah, but it's fine. I'll start.
Okay.
We're looking at when we made the list of what we're going to talk about. But my first thing to talk. Really, you're gonna have your phone out right now?
My email popped up. What do you want from me?
My phone.
want
is,
you to be
my phone is also
professional.
out, to be fair. It's just
I mean, my phone's out, but we weren't on our
Okay,
phones.
all
You
right,
know.
all right.
You're the one
Yeah.
whose phone goes off like full blast.
Because yet again,
Hours on
I have to have everything on. I am recording. I'm actually also timing us so we stay on track. I will cut you. So, sophomore, junior year. For me, sophomore year, I went to a new school. I had just gotten to a new school, so I didn't know anybody. I was a new kid. It's pretty lonely, I think, for a while. Just kidding. I did band, so I was in marching band, which if you know about what marching band is like, you would know that you do summer band camp. So during the summer, we meet up.
Nerd.
Correct.
Carry on.
Wow. Okay. I feel less confident in myself.
I kid.
But no, summer band camp is where I had plenty of time to make friends before school actually started, so it wasn't that bad. But it was a good experience. It was nice. Sophomore year. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than I was a new kid at school. It went like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. Sophomore year for me, because this is like our sophomore junior year.
Yeah.
We made it, but sophomore year and junior year for me are two different things.
Mhm.
Sophomore year was basically the same as freshman year for me, where it was like I had all my friends from middle school, and now after freshman year I had some new friends. Everything was kind of just great. You know, we had no worries. You know, we went to a nice school. Across the street was like a little outdoor mall kind of thing. We had Whataburger. Everything was, life was easy.
No, I get
Yeah.
that. We had a Whataburger right across this street from our school. We'd go there all the time.
Yeah, freshman year and sophomore year, life was easy, and then junior year, life
like a
said,
truck.
"Oh, wait a second, fuck you."
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on. Things are going way too well for you right now. But like sophomore year, like one thing about sophomore year is that it's when I started doing theater, like actually, because I took theater in junior high, but we did fuck all. All we did was like, you know what we did? We watched epic rap battle videos.
Epic rap battles of history,
Yeah,
baby.
we watched epic rap battles of history in class, and that's all we did. And I was because I did it my 8th grade, because in 8th grade you're allowed to take 2 electives. I took choir, and then I did theater. And it was all the 7th graders who took theater, their 7th. So I was just like the only 8th grader there, and we didn't do anything. And so it was just kind of like it was a class you joined for fun. So then sophomore year when I was in a show, and my like junior high theater teacher was there, he saw me, he was like, "What? You actually like theater?"
Oh my god.
And I was like, "Yeah, I like acting. It's cool. That's all I'll say for now.
Okay. I mean, for sophomore year, I guess I was also a new kid at the school, but that's because it was an entirely new school that had just like been opened up. I did a musical over the summer after my freshman year of high school, and like a lot of the people that I really liked were like, "Hey, we're about to go to this new school."
Is this Apex?
I went to Apex High.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry, but he said Apex, and I immediately thought of Apex Legends.
Apex Legends, yeah.
And I was like, you went to...
Sponsor.
So confused.
I went to video game high school.
You were being so serious about it. I was like...
Well, yeah, Apex High.
Apex High. No, then this other... I'm not even going to fucking mention it. I never want to... It does not exist as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, no.
I went to this art school that it was like this brand new charter that was opening up, and they were like, yeah, you do all your work on like your regular classes, you're gonna have iPads that you do your work on, and you solve all this shit on iPads, and you freaking read stuff on your iPads, and then you talk about it on your iPad. And
fancy.
And I was like, cool. And the acting stuff is like really good, and the choir, all that's cool. And they're like, yeah, it's awesome. Looked great on paper.
It's on an iPad.
But
it looks great on the iPad.
No, but it was
Yikes.
It was 2 years of hell. 1 year of like, this isn't really hell. And then it slowly was like, oh no, you've been in hell this entire time. Wake up. You have to leave.
Oh, yikes.
So yeah, that's all I'll say about it right now.
I imagine that's because I remember when my mom realized that I was really into theater. There was a performing arts school as well in my school district called HSPVA, which is like Houston School of the Visual and Performing Arts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Do you want to go to HSPVA? Would you be interested in like signing up, like auditioning, all that jazz or whatever?" Because I knew somebody. The way that I found out about it was I knew somebody in like 5th grade. We were friends in 5th grade, and then she just kind of disappeared. And then one day we were at some kind of like UIL for choir, and she was there, kind of like her school was hosting it, and I was like, what the fuck? I haven't seen this woman in years.
Yeah.
Because I saw her last in 5th grade, and now it's like freshman year, sophomore year of high school. I'm like, who is that? Like, where is she? What is she doing? And someone's like, oh, I'm like actual good friends with her. Like, they were neighbors. And she's like, oh, she went to HSPVA. And I went, that's a thing? Whoa. But then I was like, but I like my high school friends now.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to stay here, stick with them.
Fun fact. Like you said, you like your high school friends now and you want to stick with them. That's the reason I decided to switch schools.
Oh yeah.
Because the friends that I grew up with, like, I'm not gonna say we weren't actually friends. They're just the only people I ever knew and met, and I'd known them for the longest time. And but when I took a tour of the school that I ended up going to, Red Oak High School, like the environment was just completely different. Like the bell rang and it was silent. No one was in the halls. I didn't think that was a thing. We like peeked into a class and everybody was just sitting there listening, like being taught stuff, and I was like, what? I was like, what are you
learning environment?
right. I was like, this is interesting.
My eyes deceive me.
But like originally before I went to took the tour of the school, I was like, nah, I'm not leaving. My friends are great. And I went to this place and I was like, this is like what they say it's supposed to be like. And I didn't know that was a possibility. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, I don't think I want to leave. And then I looked at the people that I knew and I was like, to be honest, and some of you might listen to this, and I mean no disrespect whatsoever, but to be honest, I was like, I need better friends. Like as a person, like as myself, I wasn't a person. I was just whatever anybody else around me wanted to do, whoever they were. I was like on board for who they were. And then I thought about it and I was like, they're not good people. they're good people. They're just not. They don't always make the best choices. I just
like me
as a right. Okay, yeah. But no, I just feel like as a freshman in high school, going to be a sophomore, I thought it was the most mature decision I ever made, was me thinking I needed new friends, even though I loved the friends I already had, and then going to a new school. And now the friends that I have from high school are my best friends in the world. So I think it turned out pretty good.
We talked about this before, but you said like most of your friends anyways were like seniors when you were a freshman.
Yeah,
right?
that's another thing. When I was growing up, until I got to college, not college, my bad. Until I got to my sophomore year of high school at this new school, I didn't have friends that were younger than me. Yeah, like all my siblings are older than me. All the people I'm like technically started school early just because of the way my birthday was set up. So everybody in my grade was a year older than me usually. And so everybody I knew was older than me, and in my freshman year of high school, I got to hang out with the seniors and juniors. They thought I was cool because I didn't talk, because I was socially awkward, and they took that as maturity.
He doesn't speak. That's mature.
But
Good.
It's like, yeah, like if I chose to stay there and have like stay with my friends, they'd be gone in like a year. And so I went to a new school and I got new friends, and some of my best friends are younger than me now. Actually, I think all of them are. Like the group chat that I have with them on Snapchat, I think I'm the oldest of them. But it's like, by a year or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's...
Yeah.
If you heard that and you're from DeSoto, the school I left...
Yikes.
Oh, you're just gonna... Okay.
Like, it's fine.
Bold.
We're cool. I don't hate anybody.
I don't hate you, just don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I moved on.
Oh my
Well, I
God.
mean, I kind of did move on.
Yeah, that's funny though that you moved on because you were like, I don't like any. Like, I loved all my friends at my old high school. I was like, shit, like this might be the wrong decision. Like it was never like a no, I have to do this. It was like I want to hone my craft or whatever, so I should do this.
Yeah.
So I did, and I didn't know like what the outcome would be. But the friends that I did make at that school, they are like my lifelong friends. Like we just hung out when I went back home, had a nice bonfire,
Right.
and it was just like old times,
I feel
like
like
nothing changed.
I feel like that's so weird because obviously everybody has like their high school friends, right? But both of our like high school friends, the people we go back home and hang out with, are the people we graduated high school with.
Yes and no. I didn't graduate with those people.
Okay.
They went to, because I left that school, and then some of them stayed, and some of them went to
what
another
semester did you leave? Or year?
after my junior year.
Okay.
So I went back
So you got a good mix of...
Yeah, I have like two main friend groups.
Okay.
From
like,
different,
the people from DeSoto, like I still know them, and we, I guess, consider ourselves friends, but like I haven't talked to these people since I switched schools.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, like we follow each other on social media, and if someone reached out, I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, let's hang out, I guess, whenever I'm back. But my priorities are to the people I graduated with,
Right.
who I still talk to every week. But
Yeah.
I think it's weird how I only, coming out of high school, I knew them for 3 years, and it felt like I knew them my whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, high
get
school
that.
is kind of like a lifetime in itself, if you,
Yeah.
Prison years.
Oh,
Prison years.
I mean, because I always say, like, back in high school, I was, like, people were like, Jordan hates school. Because I was one of those people like, I hate it here. I hate it here. I was one of those people.
Yeah.
But also, like, I had a good time for freshman, sophomore year. I had a good time. Junior year was a bad time because of my own shit, and then senior year was a bad time because that's when I started being stupid. Because I guess junior year, like, was so weird and fucked up for me that I was like, you know what? Let's make life weird.
Yeah.
And that's when I started making bad decisions on purpose.
Wow.
That's when it started. But no, like, because sophomore year, like I said earlier, is when I did theater for real, like for the first time. Because I was in the 8th grade class. What?
Oh, no, you keep going.
No, because I took it 8th grade. We did nothing. And then I took it freshman year of high school. We like kind of did monologues. We did whatever. But I didn't do after school theater. The reason I didn't do after school theater in 8th grade is because I thought that it was something else. Because I went to Beck Junior High, and it was called Beck Backstage. So I thought it was just crew.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was
that's
like,
that sounds.
I don't want to do that. Where's Beck actors?
Beck
Where's that?
Where's Beck on stage?
Where's Beck on stage? And I never made the effort to ask or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, because, I'm stupid.
No, I mean
It happens.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't actually get on stage theater until my junior year of high school, because I was in theater my freshman year of high school, but the school I went to had 2 separate buildings for freshmen and everybody else, so our theater class was just like literally in a classroom talking about theater. But and then I moved, and in the new school I didn't know anything about the classes of theater, so you were supposed to go through like a beginner class before you could get to that. So most people, I guess, started their sophomore year, but because I just got there, they were like, we're gonna put you in the first class of theater. And so, I mean, that was nice, but I did get to work tech that year for the musical Wizard of Oz, as they did. And that's when I was like, I need to be on that stage, because I don't know, there's something different. It's something different about being backstage and like running lights and like mechanical stuff and fire blasts. It's just a weird view that really makes you appreciate what's going on, I think.
No, but for me, because it was really a turning point, because sophomore year was, because that's when like I said, I did do after school theater for the first time, and we did Monty Python's Spamalot and the Holy Grail
nice.
for our school musical.
Yeah.
And I did that. I was like 9 different parts, no speaking roles, but I was like dead guy number 3.
Hell yeah.
I was like a dance. I did all these different things. And then one thing that we had something called the Tommy Tunes Awards or something like that. Basically, it's the Tonys but for high school musicals. And we went to the Hobby Center, which is like a Broadway theater, 10,000 seats kind of thing. And it was on TV, and we opened for the show.
Go on.
Okay.
No, I
And
yeah.
we opened for the show, and they're like, okay, here's Cinco Ranch High School with Monty Python Spamalot. And we were like, and Spamalot. And then we did our final pose, and 10,000 people stood up and clapped. And I said, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do
That's
for my life.
I never had that moment.
Oh, yeah?
Like I had that moment, but it wasn't like the audience response.
It wasn't like a switch kind of thing.
Yeah, because something I wish that happened more in theater in high school was, instead of like at my school, we just put on shows. Like we did shows one after the other, and we like rehearsed being in shows, and like we learned our lines and we did it. But I was never taught how to act in high school. So it was like, if you're good, then you're good. If you're not, then you're not. And if you're somewhere in the middle, then good luck. But so, yeah, I never, when I went on stage and like did stuff eventually, and like the crowd was there and everybody was loving it, I was like, in my head, I was like, but I'm not good at this. Like, I'm not a good actor. There's just like people enjoying going and seeing other students do something on stage. My moment though was during like kind of my sophomore year, when I did tech backstage stuff, and I was like, it hit me like, oh, I want to be where they are instead of back here. But also my senior year, we did we have what is it, 1 act competitions.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't in the show, but I was the stage manager.
Oh, okay.
And I'd never done something like that before. But one of the other schools found out what show we were doing, and they did the exact same show as us.
What show did you do?
By the Bog of Cats. It's an Irish play. And so we did Irish dialects and everything. The other school did not. But no, like what we did was 1,000 times better than like acting wise, because like we had a bunch of good actors. Production wise, set wise, like it was just phenomenal, and it was better than what I saw anybody else was doing, especially the other people doing our play. But every time we moved on to a different round, like I had my setup, and we used a different colored tape every time we did a round, and I would have tape on the little light board switch stuff that I was working through on, and like it would say round 1 we passed it, round 2 we passed it, and like it was just like a little thing, and I was like, we're gonna make it all the way. And then we went up, like the judges or whatever came and looked at us and saw both ours and the other groups back to back, and the other group went on and we didn't. But the thing is, when this judge was giving us notes, she was like, where's Alex? I want to tell Alex this, blah, blah. And we were like, no one here is named Alex. None of the students, none of the cast, none of the like characters, nobody's named Alex. And she was like, well, wherever you are, you like, this was your critique, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, nope. And then she said, also, because we did old age stage makeup, which the other group did not do. And she was like, it looked really good. We did it on their faces and hair and everything. But she pointed out the guy, one of the guys, Jacob, and she was like, if you would have done the old age makeup on your hands, it would have been more believable. I was like, lady, who are you talking? And then the third note she gave us was about a scene that we did not do.
Yeah. That's good.
And so I'm like, you literally moved on the wrong people because you're some old fart that wasn't paying attention.
What year was this?
This was my senior year. It was 2016.
I'll ask because I never did UIL because it kind of confused me. And like I knew I wanted to be an actor, but a lot of stuff in school was like really confusing for me. Like with programs and all that stuff. So I never did UIL, but I have some friends who did, and I'll be like, I wonder if any of them saw your show.
Yeah, we did have to drive we were on a bus a long way away to do it. So,
did you watch any of the other shows?
Yeah, there's one place did Pillow Man.
Did you see Amazing Grace by any chance? I'm pretty sure that's what our 2016 UIL show was.
I'm not sure. A lot of the stuff we like didn't get to watch everybody's performances because like rehearsal set up and all that stuff. Yeah. But all I know is the only competition we really had was the that I saw was the people that did Pillow Man. Because also the other group that did our play turned it into a comedy, and it's literally about this woman who's like kind of looking, well, no, she's not dying, but she's looked at as like the crazy old lady whose like husband died, and now she's taking care of this child by herself. And there's like this witch seer whatever person, but basically by the end of it, she cuts her own daughter's throat and then kills herself. Like it's but not
that's funny though.
It's like she
the comedy.
Like throughout it, like someone in their town gets married and like she crashes the wedding wearing her old wedding dress, and like she's like, running amok, and then she kills her daughter and kills herself, and then like the ghost of her husband's there, and then like it's all like spooky and unsettling. And we went that route. We went very dark. We had smoke cues or fog cues. It was so freaking cool. And we sat in on the other groups, and they're like slapstick, like, oh, she crashed the wedding, pause for laughter. I'm like, no, she's ready to kill somebody.
But Jordan, what was the award thing called?
The Tommy Tune Awards.
Okay, yeah, we had that, except it was called the Jimmy Awards. and like it wasn't a group thing. It was like, oh, this actor in this musical in this high school did like really good. You should go to Broadway and perform it with like all these other high schoolers from blah blah blah. And so I knew this girl who got it, and like she was like, they went to some Broadway stage, and then they were like, okay, now you're gonna so you guys are gonna perform an ensemble number together, and then you're gonna sing like what got you here, basically. Wow. And they did it in front of so that was insane.
Yeah.
But that was not at the fake high school. At the fake high school, we.
I got to watch it on your iPad.
Yes, exactly. No, but we had like, it was great because you were talking about how you say you didn't like learn really. Our first acting teacher, he was this like super like professional, like kind of uptight, but not. He was just like super into it. He was super into acting, and he was like, I'm going to show you everything I know. And like looking back, what he did for us in that first semester was like he showed us what Alexander technique was. He showed us what Meisner was. He showed us it was all technique based, but he didn't define it.
Right.
And so it didn't feel like
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah. That's cool.
But then he left. He took a job out in LA. So then we got another teacher who did not know really quite the same.
I see.
The first semester was really the next year though he was awesome. We put on like a cool show and whatever. But this, I want to go back to talking about iPads.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Talk about them
Because how stupid are you to be like, yeah, no paper stuff, iPads only. What do you think people are going to do?
Google.
Oh, yeah.
The entire time.
Oh, yeah.
Google.
And so
There's so many sites, and other than Google, that people put out there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bing.
this is where the teachers get all their stuff from. This is the answers to all that stuff.
yeah. So I was just, freaking 15, 16-year-old me sitting in class, and what comes out? Hearthstone. That like card game. That's the only thing we played.
Oh, good.
I would sit next to one of my friends, and then what was she scrolling down? Tumblr. And I went,
Yeah.
I went, and I saw just boobs flash by on her screen. I'm just like, what is this? What's this? What are we? What's this? Show me. What's this?
Show me.
What's that?
And this was 2014 at like the height of
Yeah.
Tumblr
Right.
craziness
Oh,
or whatever.
God.
And I was like, cool, I'm gonna get on
Oh,
this.
my goodness.
It's God. Tumblr
was
Tumbling.
it was tumbling.
like, it peaked when as Instagram was starting.
Disagree.
Really?
Wait, no, because Instagram was getting popular in like
around for-
2012.
No, Instagram was around in 2012. Like, it started, like, and people started using it then. But like, Instagram, like, then versus now, it was
Okay.
still getting started. Like, it was popular, but people weren't using it for like social media star, influencer. I'm gonna do all this stuff, like, business wise, and like its fullest potential. But Tumblr was like at its highest point. Like, after 2014,
There's so many people on Tumblr, and Tumblr is so many like because I was just on like, like pun and joke Tumblr. I never I saw any kind of porn. Thank God. On my Tumblr, it was like somebody would say something funny and somebody would make a joke about that.
Yeah.
Or Super Hulock. That's all in my Tumblr.
Oh my God.
Just
Oh
gifs of
my
Doctor
God.
Who
And Supernatural.
and Supernatural. And I was like, I'm a nerd. And that's what Tumblr was for me.
I hadn't seen any of the. So at this point, I did not know what Supernatural was. So my friend, she had to like
educate
me. I never saw it until I didn't watch it until like 2018.
Damn.
2019. But I didn't understand how there was like a whole. I made fun of this on Twitter a couple weeks ago. I'm pretty sure there was like, don't forget. I remember some of you guys were tweeting or on Tumblr, like posting like, oh, Sam and Dean, I'm so sorry you had to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. I know some of you guys were doing that shit, so I will never forgive.
I always wanted to watch Supernatural.
It's good. Get into it.
Well, okay, you say that.
I watched. You know what you do? You sit down and you observe.
No, this is the thing. You know how I am when it comes to shows. Like, I pay attention. Mm-hmm. I watched the first episode and I liked it. I did. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I don't feel the urge or need to continue watching this show. And it might have just been because I was watching other things at the time that like I was actually invested in. I mean, like, I'll go back and try to watch it now. Like, I would like to get into it, but I feel like it's one of those things where, like, you know, do you have that one show that you just, like, you can't get into?
Yeah, The Society.
Oh. I'm gonna move
no, I'm kidding.
on.
Sherlock actually is that one show, though. I've tried so many times to watch it.
Because the episodes are long.
Well, it's not just that, too. It's like the way it's filmed in general.
Yeah.
That, like, it something about it, like, puts me... It's the same way with American Horror Story Coven. Something about the way, like, it's presented to you. I'm just sitting there, and it's making me ill. Like...
But before that, you can't say it's long, because nowadays all shows are an hour long.
No, but, like, Sherlock is, like, almost 90. They're like 90-minute episodes.
No, okay,
go on
HBO.
It's a miniseries.
Go on
right?
HBO.
It's not just like a show. It's a miniseries,
yeah,
right?
So, but
like,
go on HBO. Go on Hulu. Go on
if you're trying
Netflix
to
now.
Get into it and you don't know if you it's like
okay, I understand that it's like it's long. Like you want to get into something, but nowadays every show is long. It didn't start off 30 minutes and then they got to a point where they made it long. It's like if you want to start a show nowadays, you're gonna sit down for an hour.
Yeah, because I know like The Office, it took me a little bit to get into.
I can't do it.
I had to watch when I watched The Office. I binged 5 episodes.
The Dinner Party.
And then after those 5 episodes, I said, I need to take a break. I have a headache.
Yeah. The Office is the type of comedy The Office has, to me, only works on Twitter. And like if it's in small snippets of scenes, of random scenes, like I feel like I know all the characters on The Office just because over the years I've seen so many scenes that will make me laugh for like all day, all week. I will laugh at these things I see on Twitter. I tried to watch it. I started it, and I fell asleep and woke up on the second season, and I was like, "This isn't." I mean,
the first season is a slog. Like it's really hard to get through.
That's what I've heard.
But
then someone's like, "Start here, and it'll like this is where it's good. This is where all the pace picks up, and like it's funny." But I think long form comedy of The Office doesn't work for me. It puts me to sleep. I get bored. I don't really care to know exactly who these people are and what their relationships are towards each other. Just the way they behave towards each other is funny.
That's how I feel about Parks and Rec, because I'm like, yes, the characters are funny. You know, Chris Pratt is hilarious. These are hilarious people. There's the scene where Ron Swanson's like, "All right, who broke it?" And everybody's like, it's great.
Yeah.
But I can't and if somebody's watching it, I'm at a friend's house and they're watching it, I'm like, I'll watch this and I'll go, that's funny. But I just can't I've watched the first episode like 3 times trying to get myself to watch on my own, just Parks and Rec. And I'm just like, I'm not interested for some reason.
No, that's exactly how I feel about The Office.
But you might have a hard time watching Supernatural then also, and like even because I get it, like first episode you're like whatever, but going through, the only thing that like really kept me in it like was coasting off of their off of Sam and Dean's chemistry. And because they're clearly super cool with each other in real life, and it's like, oh, this is really fun to watch. But for the most part, it's like they're like one-offs. They're all like filler episodes until like one episode
where you get
somewhere
all
in between where you get like a
Like,
lot of stuff.
and
overarching
backstory.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it gets to the finale and you're like, oh, this is what it was all building towards, I guess. And then like that's really cool.
The funny thing with Supernatural is that it really starts with them being like, all right, each episode is like episode of NCIS or something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody's dead. Let's figure out who or what in this case killed them. Let's hunt them down. But then after a few seasons, they're like, all right, God is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now every season is a whole story.
Yeah.
It stopped doing the whole because I kind of liked the whole what's this what's the new monster of the week gonna be.
See that format of
but that's like what The
shows-
Office is.
Yeah, I mean, like that format of
Yeah.
shows I've never gotten into, like NCIS and
Episodic.
and Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, episodic where some, like you said, beginning someone's dead. Oh my god, figure it out. By the end of the episode, you catch the bad guy. But I'm like, it's just like you literally are watching the same exact show every time it comes on.
Because there are some shows like Supernatural where they don't do the episodic / serial thing that well, but there are shows where each episode is a different episode in its own story, but also every episode is a part of the overarching story, and it's the perfect show. And that show is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, yes.
Episodic show. Every episode there's a new thing they gotta fight, a new thing that happens, but
Yes.
every episode also applies to the whole overarching story. and
everything-
every episode is perfect.
Every episode means something.
Every episode, even the filler episodes,
Even the filler
means something.
episodes.
Literally, the second to last episode, for some reason, they're like, let's make it a filler.
That's so, they literally said, you know what? We all know what we're waiting for. Let's just have fun for a
let's
second.
make a theater piece out of it.
And it still was like a part of the whole story.
yeah.
and
Yeah,
work.
Like
yeah.
them
this
going
is
to
how
the
Fire
theater.
Nation sees
Exactly.
Yeah.
Them going to the theater was like, it influenced the main characters on how the world viewed them and how Fire Nation viewed them and what they were gonna do next with this information. I was
It's
like,
also one of the best episodes.
it is. It's just so relaxing. It's funny. It's chill. And you kind of get to take a step back from, oh, we're in the Fire Nation. We're about to go kill this guy's father.
Yeah. I like how we were talking about sophomore
Cool.
year.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that there's
This
nothing.
applies.
There's nothing. Like it was the first 5 minutes.
This
of it.
applies. I watched Avatar in high school.
This does not apply to me.
I tried to watch Supernatural in high school.
Also does not apply to me.
I have nothing left to compare.
I didn't watch either until college.
Really?
I
Okay,
watched.
wow.
Oh, you do. Oh, yeah, that's right. No, I
Yeah.
watched.
I feel like you only started watching TV in college. That's what I'm hearing. Before then, you did not touch a remote.
I watched Glee and Lie to Me.
Wow.
Did you actually watch
Lie to Me is a
Wait,
great
come on,
show.
but did you actually watch Glee?
Dude.
Yeah, I loved it. No, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. I loved it.
I'm gonna say Glee was good.
No, it was phenomenal.
Good, but Lie to Me was stellar.
I watched.
And
it.
it-
never saw
I think
that.
I only saw the first episode because I have this thing where if it comes out on TV, I have to watch it like on TV.
As
Like,
it
I
comes
have
It's
to
on
watch.
Netflix now. You know that, right?
Now I know. Now that I know that, I can watch it. But like, I think I missed an episode of Lie to Me.
And you can't go
Oh,
back.
I was
yeah.
like, I can't.
Yeah.
watch it now.
I feel that.
I get that.
But I was like, oh my god, that's what's his name from Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's the only thing I knew him from at that time too.
Yeah, and I was like, and he can tell people this is awesome. This sounds cool.
Yeah.
I need to get on that actually.
Yeah,
I need
man.
to watch that.
Well, while you prepare to watch that, we can talk about whose week is it? Whose corner is it?
Oh God.
I think
Right.
it's us.
I think it is yours.
Is it my?
Because yours was supposed
feel
to
like
be yesterday. All right, yours was supposed
Mine
to be
was the fifth,
5,
episode 5.
but we kind of messed that up. So
Yeah.
that's good.
So then it is him though.
Well,
'Cause
that's like if
What was your thing?
I don't recall. But I remember it was something that I came up with again at the end.
At the
At
moment.
the last. I was
Yeah.
like, this is what I want to talk about.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, we could do. You two can come up with something to talk about and we can just talk
real
about it.
quick.
All right, drift compatible right now. What are?
Wait, I just want to say because we were also technically supposed to talk about junior year. I just want to say, you know how we did a quick recap, quick recap of freshman year. This is my recap of junior year.
Okay, we'll all do a quick recap.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
So that was Jordan's recap. If you want to know mine, basically it was. And there goes my recap.
Here's my recap of junior year. What the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck is going? Okay.
So we all had similar junior years.
Yeah.
They really. It's funny because they always tell you when you're a sophomore, they'll be like the juniors at the time. At the end of the year, be like, "It's the worst."
It's the worst. Why? Literally, how is it that everybody's junior year is the worst year for them?
Because I think it's because freshman year you're new, sophomore year you're used to it, so it's like a new experience. You're like awesome.
Yeah.
You're used to the experience. You're like awesome, and then junior year you're like okay,
We're
I'm ready to
still
get the fuck
here.
out of here.
But it wasn't even like this at that point for me. It wasn't even like just school.
No, yeah,
like so much more life shit was happening.
Yeah.
I was dealing with relationships and like not knowing really what boundaries are and how real people are supposed to interact. So it was a lot of like getting tread on and whatever. And it's X, do you want to talk about something?
Don't ask. No. Oh.
Because you were like talking about relationships and stuff was happening in life. Well, I was the kid that didn't have anybody, but and I never have or had anybody, but all my friends did, and they were all dating each other and blah 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 blah, and they felt that I was the person to turn to talk about their problems. I was the mediator. I was the all-knowing seer that can make your lives better. Like,
You're the therapist,
like
friend.
exactly. And I'm like, I'm glad to help you guys. I just want to all be able to hang out after school today. But it was too much. It was too much. Get your own lives. You're in high school. Get
but that's
over
what I'm
it.
saying. That was your relationship.
Yeah,
I didn't mean just in
okay,
romantic senses. It's with all like.
In every sense of the word.
Okay, yeah. No, then, I was the therapist, and I definitely was not qualified.
No, I had two friends who, they were friends with me, but they weren't friends with each other because they had their own little falling out because one had a crush on the other, and the other one didn't like them back. And so we used to call ourselves a triangle of friendship. And then eventually one of the lines got erased and we were the V because I was in the middle of it. And there was literally they would both come to me with their problems about each other, and there's literally a day where one of them, I was in the hallway and one of them came up to me. I think I was on my phone, so just standing there, came up to me and said, this and this happened, she said this, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna unfollow her on Instagram. And I went, okay. And he left, and before I could finish processing what had happened, I get a tap on my shoulder and she goes, do you know who just unfollowed me on Instagram? And I said, Jesus. Either I've been standing here for like 5 minutes or there's no way that just naturally happened right now. Because I was just like,
you're like,
where
my life
are
a
we?
movie.
Because this started in like junior high, kind of like 6th or 7th grade is when this whole like little, we're all the three of us best friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And then junior year of high school is when they were like, we hate each other. And I was like, what? Or I think it might have even been sophomore year of high school. I don't remember. But it was just such a weird time to be me.
Junior year, people get too comfortable. People get too comfortable, and every individual person is kind of over high school.
Yeah.
And then when you're a senior, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, but as a junior, you don't.
Like, as a junior, like, so there's
like,
still so
everything.
much to happen. And as a senior, everything feels the same. Just now I can see it. We're almost there.
Almost there. Yeah.
So what do y'all want to talk about?
What do we want to talk about?
So this is going to be a joint.
Are we smoking a joint right now? We're lighting up a J right now, dude.
Mom, if you're listening, we are not doing that.
We're not. There's a camera.
I have never
It's proof.
seen or even been in the presence of any kind of abusive substance.
I
of
don't
any
know
sort.
what drugs.
Drugs. Who's that?
That's what I'm saying. What?
I think they said that in high school, but it was an acronym.
I remember Dare.
Let's
guys
move
have-
on.
Let's
Wait, move on.
Did
Before
your
we
high
backtrack
school?
to-
Did your high? Hold on, real quick. Did your high school like have an event where what is going on? Have an event where you went outside and like sat on like a bunch of bleachers, and then there was a whole like car crash reenactment thing. Because
what?
one of your fellow peers is drunk driving and they're dead. They are dead in front of you. And
Your school reenacted a car crash?
Yes, I bring this up because this was like a tweet I saw recently actually and I was like, holy shit, like this happened.
Yeah.
Where like literally we were just all outside like we would go into the gym and like have that big assembly where that police officer's like, yeah, so like never ever drink and drive and blah blah blah, it's bad. And then we all went outside and then they literally like reenacted like the worst thing. They had a bunch of cop cars come in, fire trucks, the ambulance came in, and then like I think this guy's real life mom was brought in, or it was an actor, I don't fucking know, but was brought in, and like she was like at the scene screaming and everything, and we're all just sitting there like,
they said, we're going to teach you a lesson about trauma. Yeah. We're going to traumatize you so you never try this.
yeah.
Wow.
No, I never had that.
Never
You
that
guys are
extreme.
Texans, so they, you know, I'm not gonna delve on that further.
You know, we can talk about that in another episode.
No, yeah. What they did at our school is they get, okay, so what happens if an active shooter comes in? We all go,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, Timmy, you didn't bring your NATO rounds today.
Oh my god. Oh my
We're
goodness.
like, sorry, officer.
No incendiary ammo. That's bad.
Come
no.
on, Timmy.
Okay, so I've
yes.
had an idea. Here's what we're gonna do to figure out what we're
Okay.
gonna talk about for you two.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna count down
Oh,
from
God.
3
Oh
to
no.
1,
And we're gonna try.
and you
say
both are gonna
something.
say one random word.
Random word.
I mean, whatever word comes to you, or like whatever you can think of, whatever you want to talk about, maybe, or it can just be a random word. And when you say your word, we're gonna put it together and try to go off of it.
Can we not get like a subject?
Yeah,
So,
we need, like,
no.
like a very basic,
no.
like over.
No, literally
all the
anything
words in
in
the
this
dictionary?
world. How are you feeling? What have you been going through? Or some random thing that comes to your mind, and I'm giving you no more time. 3, 2, 1.
Candy.
Work.
Candy work.
Candy word.
I was gonna
Work
say
and
my
candy.
first word was pineapples, but that's what I use for almost every.
So
Pineapple comes up.
work and candy.
Work and candy.
Working can. Do we know any strippers?
You see, this is how you know we're different
Exotic
people.
dancer.
Because I said this is how you know we're different people, because I thought about the people that have to work in candy shops.
I didn't think anything.
Yeah, me too, dude. That's.
I'll take you to the candy.
Is that the name of one of the
Bad,
positions in a
bad.
candy shop?
It's like, what kind of candy shops have you been going to? You know,
Let's condense it even further.
Okay.
So candy and work. Let's say another thing now.
based off of
Based
candy
off-
Oh,
and
based
Yeah.
on candy work, so it gets like closure. You guys try to make a connection with that, and we'll see if you can say the
like
same
6
word.
degrees of separation.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah,
Yeah. So
Oh god.
3,
Um,
2, 1.
Willy
Barnes and
Wonka.
Nobles.
What?
Willy Wonka and what?
But I couldn't think of any candy store in existence, so I said Barnes and Nobles.
Okay, so
Barnes and what?
Willy
Barnes
Wonka
and Noble.
and Bugs. Okay.
Books.
Okay, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again. 3, 2, 1.
Movie.
Book of Eli. Which is a
Is
movie.
Okay.
there? Oh,
Denzel Washington.
Book of
Denzel
Eli.
Washington.
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
Great movie. The Book of Eli. Thank you for coming to our corner today.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that was it. I think that was the corner.
Oh yeah.
That has been
Wow.
episode 6.
Man.
And if you if you'd like to know, if you're one of the people that listens and doesn't watch, you should come to the YouTube channel because we've got some swanky lights set up.
We do.
We do.
It looks really vibey right now in the camera, and I think you would like it.
And we'd like to see you there too. We would like that.
Yeah, I'm staring at you right now. If you couldn't tell by my voice.
Yes.
Thanks for coming to the pod.
Okay.
It is Thursday. We'll have the video out tomorrow on Friday, and we'll see you next week.
Woo.
Adios.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Bitch.
Can you turn off
The light?
the camera?
Book of Eli.
That was a nice corner.
Yeah.
It was fun.